going to have a tutorial linking PHP to the database, which is SQL. And we're going to be inserting data into the database and also updating the data in the database. As you can see, we have phpMyAdmin here. So I'm going to take you step by step. So the first step, step number 1, I want you to download and install XAMPP. Yes, so I want to download and install XAMPP. So if you search XAMPP and you go to download, so the reason we are installing XAMPP is because PHP is a server-side language, and in order for it to run in our local machine, we need a server-side supporter. So XAMPP is there to support us for PHP. So as you can see here, we have XAMPP for Windows, for Linux, and also for iOS. So I'm using a Windows machine, already have it installed with me. You can download one for your machine and also install. So after install, open it. So the second step will be open XAMPP and also click start. Click start on our page, and also on MySQL. So that's the second one. So you must click start here. So I've already started mine, hence it's saying stop on both of these. So we've done with the first step. So now we can run PHP into our local machine. The second thing, go look for phpMyAdmin. We're gonna first create our database. So the second one will be third one. Open PHP MyAdmin and create a database and a table. That's our third step. Open phpMyAdmin, create a database and a table. Okay, so let's go there. So here I must click localhost. Localhost. Okay, I can see it's showing. Okay, localhost is showing there. phpMyAdmin. I will just click there. So if you click there, it's gonna take you to something like this. So I have my databases here. So I'll be using this database called tutorial, but you must create your database. Okay, let's create a new database. You click on new because we're gonna create a new database. And also I'm using a Visual Studio Code to do my coding. Visual Studio Code. Okay, I wanna create a new database. So the database name, let it be my tutorial. I want my database to be my tutorial. Then let's click create. Has been created. Okay, so there it is, my tutorial. It's there. So the second step is we're gonna create a table. We've done open my PHP, admin have opened it and create database and a table. So the second one is to create a table. So the table name, let's say it's user. Let's say you want to have 5 columns. 5 columns. Let me click go. Right. So now it's gonna create my table and I must put in the values. Okay, while it's still loading, what I want you to do is to come here. Let's create a new file. Create a new file. Now it's very important where you save this file. Okay. Step number 4. Create a new file in the XAMPP repository. Very important to create a new file in the XAMPP repository. But before we go to this step, let's try to finish this one first. But that's the incoming step. So in the first one, I want this one to be a user ID. So it's a user identity. For the user ID. So this user ID, I want it to be okay. Let it be an integer. Let it be an integer. I want it to increment every time I create a new table. So hence I'm gonna click here at AI. Then the second one, I want here to have user name. Let me have username. Okay. I want my username to be a character. Let's put the length. Let's say 50 characters. 50 characters. The second one, okay. The first one, let it be first name. The second one is first name. First name. This one I want it to be last name. I want it to be last name. We also want it to be a character, variable character. And let's also give it 50 length. So let me have here an email address, and I also want my email address to be vartakar, and let's also give it 50. Okay, here I'm just gonna say pass for password. Password I want it to be vartakar, and I also want 150 characters. Let's say 150 characters. So that's it. Let's create our database. Let's save that. Okay, it's creating our database now. Okay, so in my tutorial we have the user database, which is there. It's already created, but it's still loading. So yeah, our database now is created. Yeah, this is the structure: user ID, first name, last name, email address, and password. So our database is created. We're done with that step. Now let's link our PHP into our database. Go to file. I want to save this as your directory is very, very important. I repeat that. Let's go to Windows. Let's go to XAMPP. After XAMPP, let's go to htdocs. Let's go to Amit programs. So here you can save anywhere you want. I have a folder which I've created, which is my tutorial. My tutorial here, I want to save this as index.html. Let's save that. Okay. So create a new file, which is index.php. Oh, sorry, I said it must be PHP, not HTML. Save as index.php. It's not an HTML. Index.php. Save it. Yes. Okay. So create a new file which is index.p in the XAMPP repository. Number 5, connect. Let's try to connect the PHP to MySQL. PHP to MySQL. That's the 5th step. Okay. So in any PHP, you start off by having the PHP tags in between. So that's the opening tag, and then there's a closing tag. So this is where we're going to write our PHP here. You must make sure you do that. So in the first step we want to do is we must know our errors. So in order for PHP to display our errors clearly, we must have this. So error underscore reporting. Underscore reporting. It's E underscore all. Report all of them. Secondly, is that we must set in underscore set. So we are setting display errors. Please display display errors. So 1. Okay. So if you want to know our errors in PHP, we start off by having that syntax first. So here, this syntax here is to connect. Connect to MySQL. Let's connect to MySQL. Okay, the first thing we have is let's create a variable. A variable. Let's call this variable as $sign. When creating a variable in PHP, you put in a $sign. So a $sign. Then after let's just call it MySQL. 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 So this is just a variable. I want it to be equals to MySQL. MySQL underscore connect underscore connect. Okay, we want you to connect first of all into the local host. Connect into the local host. Secondly, which is under the root, let's put a comma, and we must have root here. Then there's the third one, it must be a password, but if you don't have a password, you're gonna put in an empty space. So the name of our table, okay, the name of our table, what was it again? It's my tutorial. The name of our table is my tutorial. What was the problem I'm having here? My tutorial. Okay, so that's how we link to the database. But now let's make sure if we are really linked. So let's have an if statement here. If not MySQL, let me just copy that there. If not MySQL, meaning if that did not connect, was not able to connect, what I want you to do for me is please print out, so it's echo in PHP, error, let's say error, we got an error there, and and we say the error is unable to connect. Unable to connect to MySQL. So if it has not connected, I want you to say unable to connect to MySQL, and also give us the error. Find the error. So debugging error, no? Debugging um, error, no? So here I want you to tell us the name of the error. So you say MySQL underscore connect. Now tell us the problem. Connect error, no. So that's the first part. If you did not connect to the database, but else if you did connect, if you're able to connect, please echo for us, which is print out success able to connect to my SQL. Success able to connect to my SQL. So you're able to connect to my SQL. Yeah, so let's just see what's happening there. Let's control save that. Yes. Let me take that down. Okay. So in order for us to run that, let's go and take our repository. So that's Windows and this is XAMPP. I open XAMPP, I go to HT documents and I go to Amit programs. I go to my tutorial. So I have index.php there. I want that the repository. So let me just, okay, you don't copy everything here. Take it from Amit programs. Amit programs. Control save that. Let's go back to our web browser. Here, let's say local host. Okay. Let's take it out from Amit programs and let's paste. So that's my tutorial. I must say index.php. In order for me to write that file, index.php. We enter and we see what's happening. Success! Able to connect to my SQL. So the first part is done. We're able to connect to my SQL. The second time is let's now insert data into our database. Number 6, we are inserting into the database. Inserting data into the database. So we're able to connect. Okay, let's go down here. Now what we can do here, let's create a variable. Let's say the variable is user table. I'm just calling it as user table. So you can name any variable you want. It really depends on you. User table, it's equals to I want you to insert. So I want you to insert where I want you to insert. I want you to insert into user. Okay, if we go back here, yes, user. I want you to insert into user. I want you to set into user. Where do I want you to insert? Firstly, I want you to insert in the first name. Insert on the first name. Secondly, I want you to insert on the last name. It must be last name. Thirdly, I want you to insert on the email address. I must make sure the spelling is the same. Yeah, email address. And I want you to insert on the pass. Okay, so here I'm saying insert into user, meaning user is my table. Now, if I want you to insert into user, what do I want you to insert there? I want you to insert values, capital values, values. Okay, let's put in the values. Let's say the first one is Lonwabo. Okay, I want you to insert Ulonwabo. And last name, I want you to be Sandy. Let's say email address is L.Sandi Academy at gmail.com. Let's say my password is 123 AR. Let's say that's my password. That looks fine. Okay. The only thing now we have to do is to say my SQL query, my SQL underscore. Okay, we don't have to write this. Let's go and check if everything is inserted first. Okay, control save that. I must run the program. Where did we run it again? Okay, it's here. Okay, let's go and check, hoping it's there. Let's refresh that. Hoping that the fields have been filled with the data from PHP. Okay, let's go to browser. Okay, let's just wait for it to load. So this is a syntax we have when we're inserting into the database. So you have a variable user table, which is inserting. Okay, it's empty results. Let's continue with this because I feel like we should call the variable MySQL underscore query. Um, let's have MySQL. My so let's copy this. Let's copy that because we must call the variable and put it here. That and say take our variable here, which is user table. Copy that, put it here. Close that. Then let's close my SQL. SQL underscore close. Okay, let's see. Oh wait, we should tell it that variable, which is MySQL. Put it here. It should be fine. Let's save. Okay, let's now go run it again. Let's press enter there. Okay, success. We're able to connect. I should refresh this again. Hopefully the data is here. Yes, the data is here. Lonwabo Sandi at L.Sandi Academy at gmail.com. The password is 123ER. So we've finally inserted the data into our database. So that's it for this tutorial. Let's meet in the next one to update the data. Thank you.